This is my last attempt at making you smile.
All right, welcome back. That was a little bit of Annalise Dugas, and we're going to be playing her all show. But now it's time for the Magnetic Marketing Moment with your marketing magnet, Jeanette Burke. Jeanette, great to have you here to do this today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, what are we talking about today?
Today, it's all about marketing brand you, personal branding.
Personal branding.
And the thing is, a lot of people think personal branding is for like Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashian and Britney Spears.
Yeah.
But really, it's not. It's for all of us. We all have to think about our personal brand, especially when we're in business, because our brand, personal brand, is an extension of ourselves. And it really does affect how people think of you and whether or not they want to do business with you, whether
Okay.
or not they want to associate with you,
Right.
whether or not they, you're the person they want. You got to meet that person.
It's
You got
all
to know this person or
Yeah,
not.
okay.
So it really has a very big impact on our business. And a lot of people don't realize that your personal brand actually extends past yourself.
Okay, but I'm confused, Jeanette,
Okay.
because to me, I've always struggled with this idea of what a brand is exactly. So
Okay.
now take that and apply it to a person. It's even more confusing. Maybe can you tell
I
us what a
can.
personal
Okay,
brand
so
is?
let's say that a brand itself is a little bit different than a personal brand. Brand has three components: your logo, your
Logo.
message, and your unique promise of value. That's what a straight brand is. But a personal brand is a little bit different.
Wait, what were those? Logo, message, and
And your unique promise of value.
okay. Okay, so let's talk about the personal brand now.
The personal brand is the way you market yourself to the world, and then what your clients or who you're marketing to think of you.
All right.
Okay, and it's something that you have to really deal with because you can't. It's unavoidable. It has to be done. Okay.
Because
So-
if you don't manage that, somebody else will manage it, right?
Yes. Well, if you don't manage your own reputation and your own image, and you don't take control of it, then you're really not doing all that you can to make yourself great opportunities to cash in on, make yourself a chosen person to work with, a chosen person to be in the circles that are recommended. You're not doing anything to put yourself really out there. And see, that's the thing with marketing today. You really have to put yourself out there. You have to be known. I mean, I've used Paris and Kim Kardashian and Britney, and they're very skilled at this type of thing. So is Lady Gaga. Their personal brand is so defined that we know what we're going to get from them. We know what to expect from them. And we see an authenticity in them or something that's different and unique that attracts us. And this is what it's all about, is how are you going to attract clients to you and use this personal branding to make you money.
Okay.
And so this is what I want to kind of delve into this today about, like, my personal secrets on how to, I've got it down to three
Okay.
simple steps of how to create your personal brand and why I've sort of talked about why I think you should do it.
Yeah.
And how I think it's important to realize that personal branding, it's just part of everything you do, from sending out an email to engaging in a conversation to what you say, what you wear, and just all of it. And you can control it because you can be decisive about it. You can make a decision about what you want to say and what you want to wear and how you want to project yourself to the outer world.
That's what they say about branding, is it has to be part of everything
that is
that a company does, or in this case, a person does, every time they touch one of the stakeholders.
Yes.
That brand has to come through.
And it must be equal, right? So let me say also, in personal branding, there's two components to it, and then there's the 3 steps how to create it.
Okay.
So the one aspect of it is you, what you feel about you, how you define you.
Right.
And I really recommend that you take a piece of paper and think about that, and think about, what adjectives would you use to describe yourself? Would you say you're outgoing, friendly, whatever? And how would that really benefit your business? Because then the second part of it is the external interaction, and that's the perceptions that, you know, we all make perceptions, whether we like it or not. It's true. When we engage with each other, we're already making perceptions. That's how our brain works. Our brain is wired to do that. We're making snap judgments, basically, and opinions. And so it's really funny. Sometimes we do this exercise. I do this exercise when I'm coaching my clients, and I say, write down the three adjectives that you think best describe you. And then I put them in pairs. And I say, turn to the other person and say 3 adjectives that they use to describe you. And you know what? It's somewhat of a disconnect.
And is that what you want to do? You want to make them connect?
You want to make them marry. You want to make them connect. Yeah, because you want whatever you perceive to be your strengths, your talents, and your passions, which we all want to be able to do what we're passionate about. We want to wake up in the morning and we want to live a passionate, fulfilled life, and we want to earn income on it. Mm-hmm. And in order to achieve that, you've got to be able to, you know, blend the two. And that's where you have optimum results, because that's when clients sort of either cling on or back away from you, right? So you've got to blend the two to get that real, to really get somebody's attention and to make them want you.
Now, is that one of the 3 steps?
No, there's 3 steps to creating the brand, the marketing brand, and creating your personal brand. And the first one is really just delving in and discovering what is it that you are about. What gets you excited? What's your passion? What's your vision? What's your mission? What's your mission statement? And you've got to be able to, you know, say all this, articulate it, and write it down on paper in some kind of a plan that really does spell it out for you about what is the answer to all these questions. Like, what is it that you're really trying to do, and what is it that you want the world to know about you, and why? Why do you want to handle it? Why do you want to run your business a particular way? What's your spin on things? Like, why are you doing this? And, you know, again, make that known and make people associate with that to make them want you.
So that's
sort of step 1.
Step 1. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And step 2 is devising. Actually, it's a 2-step. I thought it was a 3-step. It's actually 2 steps. I've got it down to 2 steps.
That's even better. That's one
better.
less step.
It's better. The second thing is devising your personal branding toolkit. Now, there's a lot to this, okay? And the reason is that, you know, with social media today, it's all about brand, visual branding, and which is part of personal branding. So because the internet plays such a big part in this, and because social media is so huge, you've really got to be able to manage this. And you've really got to have a really good toolkit. So in the toolkit, here's what you need. You need a really good business card that really specifies what you are and who you are. And here's where the traditional brand comes back into play. Your logo is part of your brand.
For sure.
It's got to be reflective of who you are. Your messaging on your business card also has to be really reflective of what it is that you're doing. And the sad thing is, we don't take enough time to really look into this and really delve deep into this. We just think it's all going to happen, but it doesn't. It doesn't happen. And in today's world, if you don't do enough to make it happen, you will not sustain your business for very long.
Right.
So then the other parts of the toolkit include your portfolio. And to me, this means, you know, a bit of a history of what you've done to make yourself an expert in this particular area you've proclaimed, right?
Yeah.
And in particularly in the niche that you have decided to fulfill, answering that in the first part, right? So whatever niche you're deciding to fulfill, what's the story behind that, and what's your portfolio, what's your experience?
Yeah, but where do you put this portfolio?
Well, the portfolio can be online as part of your website.
Right.
You know, it should be part of your website. Integrated a little bit into your social media accounts. It could be a hard copy of a hard copy portfolio of different work that you've done, depending on the industry that you're in. And it's also testimonials. Because, you know, we forget that the power of testimonials are, you know, that's your history, that's your credibility. This is what people want to see from you.
And think about it when people publish a book, right? They always get testimonials in the back, right?
Correct. And it's also today video. You can shoot a very small little video, just sort of telling the world who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Yeah.
It can be a part of your website.
Right.
You can send it out beyond that. I mean, there's all different ways to send. There's new technologies today to use email to send video.
Get out.
Yes.
Like, what are you talking about?
Like Talk Fusion,
Oh.
and different things like that. Or, you know, even with you guys, come here, shoot video, you use it as part of your website.
You think?
Yeah, I think.
I think it's better if people just kind of, go buy a camera, shoot it in their dark basement with bad audio, and, with
Yes,
no,
'cause
with
it's
no
so
knowledge of how
professional.
to frame it or anything like that.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, and this is I'm glad you brought this up, because I personally do not think that turning on a camera on your laptop and just sort of shooting is the kind of quality of a video that you want to put out there when you're talking about who you are and what you do and why you do it. You got to have a little bit more professional.
Exactly. This is what we're talking about with the brand, right?
Yes.
You can
Yes.
be that basement type person. That could be your brand, but who wants to have that brand?
You don't. You want to take it to another level, and you maybe even want to take it to having your own show.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that, Jeanette.
You're welcome. And then, of course, other parts of the toolbox, believe it or not, include the simplest of things like an email address. You know, how many cards you get that say the company name and then the email address is either something at Simpatico or something at Rogers or something at Gmail? That is the worst personal branding you could possibly do for yourself. If you have a name like, I don't know, That Channel,
Yeah.
you probably want to have, you want to have an email address that has your logo or your business name incorporated in it, like info@thatchannel.com rather than info@gmail.com.
Or hotchick420 at thatchannel.com.
Yeah, something that's like totally professional, not unprofessional, and that is characteristic of you and what you're trying to portray. Okay, so then another thing that we overlook a lot of the times, and I don't want to delve too much into this because this is going to be Marilyn's thing today, but the wardrobe that we wear really speaks volumes about A, what we think of ourselves, and B, what we're projecting, the image we're projecting to the world. Let me take, for example, someone in the fashion business. If they're not dressed in the latest fashion and their hair is not done properly and their makeup is not done properly, why would anybody trust you to help them look good if you don't look good? It starts with you. It's all about you. And whatever you choose to project in your business life and a lot of small business people say, well, I'm a small business person. I can overlook this. I don't need to worry about this. That's not true. That is totally not true. A small business person, mid-sized business person needs to manage their reputation and credibility just as much as a star does,
Yeah.
and just as much as a corporation does, because again, we're making snap judgments as to whether or not you're the person for the job, and that's up to you to prove that you are the right person for the job.
It's kind of like, how serious are you about your business, about what you're doing, about
Yes.
how you present yourself to the world?
And similarly, the literature you pass out, whether it's your brochure or whether it's your business card or whether it's your website, I know I've said this before in other segments, but it's so true, I got to say it again, that, they all have to be really up to snuff too. There's a lot of, self-do-yourself programs out there today. People look to save money. But, the expression penny wise, pound foolish, at some point you have to get some kind of a budget together wherein you're willing to at least invest in a decent business card, no perforated edges,
Yeah, I
and
know,
a decent website with some kind of decent template behind it, and a decent brochure. If not, if those three things aren't together, that's the first taste somebody gets of you. Talk about personal branding. You've got to have that. And strong messaging and strong emails with the right sign-offs, the right signature block. Very important. So this is your gift to the world, and you have to instow it on the world, because the world's not going to come looking for it from you.
Absolutely.
They're not going to call you up and say, okay, you look unprofessional, I don't care, And it seems very simplistic, but it's true. It's true. Everything we do is part of who we are, is part of our business, and we've got to walk the talk. And so when you put all these things together, that's when you're going to see the greatest success, because when people see you walking your talk and being authentic and real and standing up for what you believe in and showing the world what you believe in, they resonate with you. That's how you get a following.
That's interesting.
And they say, if this is done correctly, because, most businesses sadly are in and out within 3 years. A lot of that is because of marketing, right?
Yeah.
Marketing can be very difficult if you don't know what you're doing, but it can also be not so hard when you have somebody like me on your side who's making it simplified for you and providing you with tools, context, resources, crew, templates, scripts, everything you need to lead and succeed. And it's also something that can be fun and creative. We did a whole segment on this. It's not supposed to be a chore. But the simplest of things is where it begins. And I don't know how much simpler you can get than having a personal brand in place and working it really for you to make, you have to be top of mind. You have to be top of mind. If you're not top of mind, you miss out opportunities and clients and sales.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what we're talking about today, right? On the show, it's really all about the personal brand, everything from makeup and hairstyle to wardrobe to
cosmetic surgery if you need to go that route. Now, the reason that the cosmetic surgery can be a part of it is that, and this is more for maybe people who are applying for jobs. Today a lot of job search is done online. LinkedIn is part of your profile. You have to make it really good. Facebook is part of profile. You got to make it really good. Your whatever you put up there has to be managed.
It's part of your brand.
It's part of your brand. It's part of your personal brand. It has to be very good. And if you're looking for a job, you know that employers look there first now before anywhere else, right? So when you think about all these things, and if you're competing in a job market where jobs are scarce, sometimes, you've got 20 plus years experience, but nobody wants to hire you because you look sort of past it a bit, and there's younger people coming out to compete with. That's where, sometimes like plastic surgery or cosmetic procedures or Botox or something can really give you an advantage. I hate to say it, but the world is shallow. I mean, this is nothing new, right? Sometimes we need an edge to give us a competitive chance. And that's what it's about. But I don't say that personal branding is all about that. I'm saying that's one component of it.
For sure. Okay. Well, great.
Okay, so interacting the three, getting clear on your brand of you, your image of you, and what it is you're trying to achieve, and then compiling that and checking in with others what their view of you is, and how they're perceiving you, and combining it together, and then taking those 2 steps and putting it into play with all that stuff will give you such an edge.
I think it's really important. Also, I think just maybe, people talk about the company brand. Now you're talking about personal brand here today. I'm wondering maybe even one day, because there's some talk that corporations may not last forever, or that they may not be around in the economy of the future, and more people are self-employed. Maybe it's the personal brand that's going to be the most important thing of all as we move into the future.
Well, I'd like to say that it's already that way, because even in corporations, the people in there who are at the heads or whatever level they're at, they still need a personal brand. It's something they're bringing to the corporation. But most definitely, we are in the digital economy, and we do see a resurgence of the entrepreneur. And again, if you want your business to survive, it starts with you. You are the extension of your business. You are your business. And you are the taste that people get of the business.
Okay, Jeanette. Is that it for the Magnetic
That's
Marketing
it.
Moment?
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, and if people want to get in touch with you and find out more, get into the details, maybe get you to help them work on their personal brand, how can they do that?
They can contact me at 905-882-6893 extension 1, and visit my website, www.yourmarketingmagnet.com. There's a section called the Magnetic Marketing PR Process, and on the drop menu, it's the TMPP summary. You'll get a glimpse of all the different areas of marketing I can help you with. And if you're interested in my packages, you can just stay on the same site and look under Work with Jeanette. I have different options. I have the group one, which we mentioned next session is June 29th. That's a Magnetic Marketing Femtor Circle. And then I have one-to-one options, Work with Jeanette, one-to-one, Ask Jeanette, and we also have Marketing Goddess intensive packages. So yeah, this is one aspect I can coach and consult and you on and strategize a plan with you for improvement. There's other aspects too.
That's fantastic, Jeanette.
Thanks.
Thanks for doing this.
Thank
That
you.
is the Magnetic Marketing Moment for today, Monday, June 20th, 2011. We're going to take a little break now with Annalise Dugas, and we're going to come back with Gianluca Orenti, award-winning makeup and hairstylist, right after this.